Thank you all for coming. Thank you all who are physically present here. And thank you to all of those who are tuned in remotely. This is being webcast. And I'm delighted to say that for the first time we have interpretation. Thank you very much. So that our colleagues, our Spanish-speaking colleagues in Latin America and elsewhere can get the full benefit of our proceedings. I'm calling this meeting to order. We have a quorum present in accordance with our bylaws, so the meeting can begin. Before we actually go into the business of the meeting, let me say I'm Anna Chisman. I'm your chair of the Board of Directors since last summer, and was fortunate enough to replace Casey Suarez, who has been our chair of the Board of Directors for several years, and whose example, whose dedication and devotion to the credit union was absolutely exemplary. So on behalf of all of us, all of the membership and the board, I'd like to say thank you very much to Katie. She remains on the board. She is vice chair, and I benefit a great deal from her experience, so thank you. I'd also like to give a special welcome to some guests that we have here today. Alan De Leon, our external auditor, CPA. Thank you very much for coming, Alan. John Vatsakis, who's the President CEO of the Maryland, D.C. Credit Union Association. Welcome. Marinela Stempel, Ejecutiva Principal, Dirección de Operaciones de Capital Humano de la Corporación Andina de Fomento de Caracas, Venezuela. Thank you for coming, Marinela, from Caracas. We have two of our financial consultants, Freddy Telleria y Mauricio Hervas. Could you... Good. It's good to see you here. Thank you very much for coming. They are our investment advisors. Andres Fancetti? Yes. Welcome. Thank you very much. He's from Clements Partners Solutions. And I believe we have with us Romulo Sanz, a former staff member of the credit union, and his wife, Sheila. Good to see you. So thanks to all of you for coming. Sorry. And I'm sorry, Thomas, I missed you. Thomas Bowen, Director, Member Relations of the National Cooperative Business Association, CLUSA International. Thomas, stand up. Thank you. Welcome. Right. Well, you have the agenda printed in very small type in front of you. And the first item of business is the approval of the minutes of the 50th annual meeting that was held in May 2013. These minutes, which are on a yellow piece of paper, you should have been given when you came in, have already been reviewed by management and the board, but it is the duty, it is the obligation indeed, of this annual meeting of members to approve these minutes of the meeting, annual meeting of last year. So, do I hear any corrections or amendments to the minutes of last year's meeting? If not, I would like, please, to hear a motion to approve the minutes of the 50th annual meeting. Can I hear a motion to that effect? Thank you very much. It's moved. Do I hear a second from the membership, from the floor? Thank you. very much. Seconded. All those in favour of approval, please raise your hands and say aye. Thank you very much. Those opposed, say nay. No opposed. Any abstentions? No. So the motion is carried. The minutes from last year are approved. Thank you very much indeed. I'd like now to give the floor to Carlos Calderon for a special announcement.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, and welcome to our annual meeting. This year's theme is our social media, and we have launched our social media. You probably have seen already, we have a blog where we have some financial advice, and it's been updated on a monthly basis on different topics. So we invite you to go through the webpage and get into that. It's very interesting. We talk about budgeting, we talk about credit reports, we talked about lending, we talked about all of those issues and themes that are very close to your heart and your pocketbook. We're also, for the first time, we're going to do a live tweet. So we invite everybody to tweet and win. So here's the contest and the instructions. There you go. So the contest is to tweet. You can also do it from the floor here if you like. Obviously, this is extended to all of our members that are not present here as well, in the States and outside the country. We are going to choose a winner based on the most original tweet, and that will be announced tomorrow. And the prize will be $250, which will be deposited into the account of the member. So you have to be a member, obviously, to win. So that's the announcement for now. We invite you to tweet and stay connected.
Okay. Carlos tells me that he and some other people are going to decide what is the most original tweet. I'm sure I couldn't do that, possibly do that. All right, now this is the part of the meeting where we have a series of reports from board members and from our external auditor. The first report is mine, and I'll try not to take too long, but there are some important things to be said, I think, about participation of membership, and participation in elections of the credit union. The very essence of who we are as a credit union is the participation of the membership in the work of the credit union and in the daily operations. So you participate by coming to this meeting, certainly. You participate by voting in the elections. You participate, many of you participate by serving as volunteers in one capacity or another with the credit union. And this participation is democratic governance and ownership of the credit union by the members. This is what makes us a credit union. And we, the board and management, are accountable to you, to the membership. You probably recall the history of the credit union movement is that it was founded at the end of the 19th century to help ordinary people gain access to credit for their business, to credit to build their homes. And Mr. Filene of Filene's Basement fame was an early supporter of credit unions in the United States, and credit unions spread around the world because they aim to meet the credit needs of the members at a reasonable cost. Credit unions like ours are based on a few simple principles: people before profit, personalized customer service, and facilitation of credit to help build strong communities. In other words, our credit union is a financial institution, of course, but it's much more than a financial institution. It's part of our community. Let me turn to summarize some of the things that the Board of Directors and Management have been doing over the past year. Mobile banking was introduced and enhanced, and the process of sending international funds transfers has been put online and made simpler, and is being increasingly used, I might add, by the membership. For members of the OAS Staff Federal Credit Union who live and work all around the hemisphere and indeed around the world, and whose families may be in several different countries, the ease of transferring funds from one country to another is very, very important indeed. We know, I was talking with Carlos a couple of days ago, we know that it's not quite so easy to transfer money from other countries to here. But we are aware of that and are hoping to be able to do something positive about it in I won't say the near future, but in the foreseeable future. Another very useful innovation for members is the electronic signature of loan documents, loan applications. Members and potential members from anywhere all over the world can complete their applications online, sign them electronically. This is a vast improvement, and thanks very much to management and staff for doing this. You can now deposit checks using your mobile phone. Just take a photograph. It's very easy. I did my first check the other day. It's photograph the front and back, few short clicks, and there it is. It's deposited, and within a few minutes you get an email saying your check has been deposited. So try it out. It's very useful. Student loans were introduced this past year in response to members' needs to finance the increasing costs of college. The annual report is actually online at the credit union website. There are, in fact, no copies here today, but I do encourage you to look at it. You will note from the annual report that we are expanding our membership base. We currently have nearly 6,200 separate accounts in the OAS Staff Federal Credit Union. And we have a new membership group, which is staff of the Corporación Andina de Fomento, whose representative is here with us today and who will be speaking a little bit later. We're very pleased to welcome these new members to our credit union family. And this brings to 28 organizations around the hemisphere that are members of the credit union, including IICA and CATIE in Costa Rica, the American Translators Association, the Defense Board, PADF, and many others. We currently have 21 staff members, employees, who are highly skilled and, as I'm sure you will agree, very, very pleasant to deal with and very professional, whether you see them in person, whether you call them on the phone, send them an email. They are knowledgeable and dedicated to their job. One example of their dedication over and above the call of duty, I think, was in January of this year when we had a blizzard in Washington, D.C. The government was closed down, the OIS was closed down, the credit union was closed because there was so much snow. And some of our staff realized that a blizzard in Washington didn't mean that people in the rest of the hemisphere had stopped working and stopped having financial needs, and so they took it upon themselves, their own initiative, to work from home and take care of people's financial needs when the credit union was physically closed down. So they provide essential financial services for all of us, as well as a home to go to, a financial home to go to. So let me say on behalf of all of us, warm applause and warm thanks to all of our credit union staff. Could you give them a hand of applause, please? On behalf of the Board of Directors, let me also thank very warmly indeed the volunteers on the various committees of the credit union who give of their time, their expertise and their experience, their very varied experience, to make sure that our credit union operates smoothly. The committees generally meet once a month at lunchtime, so any of you who think you may have something to contribute to the work of the credit union or would be interested in finding out more, please get in touch with any of us, any of the board, or Miss Cynthia Miller. Cynthia, can you stand up, please? She is the person to go to if you're interested in serving on committees. The issues that the committees deal with are very varied, such as community development, membership, technology, human capital, governance. So it's a really interesting experience, and we currently have about 70, that's 70, volunteers in our credit union committees, and they are extraordinarily valuable. So thank you very, very much, all of you, for the time you put in. Let me close by saying that our credit union is in very solid shape. We've had a good year. It's a solid, safe, and reliable part of your community. Thank you very much indeed. We now have a report by the chair of the Credit Committee, Ana Maria Lemos, please.
The U.S. economy has continued to improve during the past years, but we remain cautious about the durability of the recovery, with so many intangibles and possible threats. Consumer and business confidence could easily fade, even with the economic recovery underway. Many families still continue to struggle to pay their mortgages and how college expenses will fit into the family budget. Therefore, the Credit Committee will follow the situation closely and make sound recommendations for changes in our policies and procedures. The Credit Committee meets weekly throughout the year to review all credit applications. We would like to reassure our membership that every single loan received is evaluated and analyzed individually with the objective to approve that loan if it meets all the necessary requirements. However, the denial of deferred loan application, if we deem that, is to help the members' financial health. All members of the committee understand that leading is the credit union business, but leading responsibly. To this end, the credit union offers financial counseling for the members upon request. The members of the Credit Committee are proud to volunteer in our not-for-profit cooperative and ensure that the credit union will continue to provide reliable financial services of the highest quality and delivering personalized solutions for you and your family worldwide, always maintaining the principles and philosophy of the credit union movement. We appreciate and thank each staff member and each past, current, and future volunteer for their services. On behalf of the Credit Committee, we thank you so much for your support. Thanks.
Ana Maria Lemos is being characteristically modest. The work that the Credit Committee does, and she has served on it for several years now, meeting once a week, all year round, is quite an extraordinary commitment on the part of the members of the Credit Committee. And they meet every week in order to ensure that you don't have to wait for a month to get a response to your loan application. So thank you on behalf of all of us, Ana Maria and your committee. I'd like to call on the Treasurer now to make his report, Mr. Jim McSweeney.
Good afternoon and welcome to our annual meeting. Appreciate your coming and appreciate those who are watching online. I'm the treasurer of the Credit Union and also chairman of the Asset and Liability Committee, a committee that works year-round to oversee our financial situations. I'll be very brief, so please pay close attention. I'm pleased to report that the Credit Union last year had a more than respectable year, considering our fragile economy, and we had net income of more than $360,000, a 38% increase over 2012. That dreadful stabilization fees imposed on all credit unions by the National Credit Union Association that drove us into a negative situation 3 years ago has been substantially reduced and may end within a year or two. Certainly we're hopeful of that. In addition, the credit union continued to grow in terms of assets, deposits, and loans. Loans, which is our lifeblood of our institution, however, remains our biggest challenge. We continue to need your help, all members' help. Please make sure that when you need to borrow for any reason, please check with us before taking a loan elsewhere. Big financial institutions are more interested in their bottom lines than serving you and at a reasonable cost. We're confident that it will be to your advantage and ours together if you do so. This year that's just closed, 2013, we learned from our auditors that we needed to increase our reserve for some employee benefits. That adjustment reduced our income in 2013 by about $79,000 and our capital by about $1 million. Despite that, our financial base remains strong with equity of more than $13 million. And that's important to you, our members. Finally, I want you to know that this year we continue to do well, and we look forward to a successful year. In a few minutes, you will hear from our independent accountants, and I don't expect Mr. De Leon to contradict anything I've said. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. McSweeney. Now we have a report from the Chair of the Supervisory Committee, Oskar Halasic, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon and welcome to our annual meeting. In representation of the Supervisory Committee, I had the great pleasure to inform you that following guidelines from the Federal Credit Union Act, our committee main responsibility is to inspect the credit union internal controls, to verify the assets, the availability, the integrity and the security, and also we check the proper handling of funds and the accuracy of the records. Every year the committee makes certain that audits are performed, especially the external and the federal, and assure that the findings of these audits are discussed and reviewed by our Board of Directors. We are pleased to report that the external and federal audits done in 2013 by the firm De Leon & Stang and the National Credit Union Administration confirm what our Chair already said, that our credit union is in a solid financial condition. Also, the examination of the audit of the National Credit Union Administration recommended some strength and security measures. In that respect, additional audits were performed by the firm Allen & Larson about our automatic payment system and ACH and for our compliance with the Bank Secrecy Act. Both audits indicated good results and full compliance. Also, in 2013, the committee attended member complaints via our web access that was provided and participate in meetings with other committees to promote collaboration, cooperation, teamwork, and understand really all the issues about issues and challenges that they have, these committees. To collaborate and accompany the strategic cycle of our credit union, the Supervisory Committee requested a member satisfaction survey for the Visa credit and debit cards. The idea was to identify the problems and improve processes to satisfy and respond to the member needs. Since our credit union is in a period of constant growth, new groups are joining our field of membership, and the responsibilities and challenges of our committee continue to grow. Compliance, federal regulations, technology, fraud, and many other issues are very complex and require from our side dedicated efforts, more resources to maintain up-to-date and follow the regulatory requirements. The Supervisory Committee will continue to do its utmost in fulfilling responsibility of supervising and providing a safe environment to the members. Finally, we would like to thank the members of our Board of Directors, all the members of the Credit Union, management, staff, and the OAS Federal Credit Union for the trust they place in our committee and for the continued support. Thank you, and enjoy a nice and beautiful weekend, long weekend. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Oscar. I'd like to call on Alan De Leon now from the firm of De Leon & Stang our external auditor. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Alan DeLeon. I'm a partner with DeLeon and Stang, a CPA firm, and we serve as the external auditors for the credit union. And so I understand that this is your 51st annual meeting. Yeah. So Carlos asked everybody to tweet, so I've already tweeted congratulations on my phone, which you can read later. So my responsibility is to discuss the audit report with you. And so the most important thing about the audit is that you guys have a clean opinion again for 2013, which is very good. That means that the financial statements are in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. As you just heard from the treasurer, your assets have grown from about $154 million to almost $158 million, so just a little less than $4 million increase. And member deposits increased by about that amount too. So you had a very healthy balance sheet and nice increase in terms of overall size. Your net income for the year was $369,000, and that's up about $100,000 from last year. Last year was at $266,000, and your net worth ratio increased. It now stands at 8.24%, which is a very healthy range and above the level that NCUA considers to be well capitalized. So during the audit, we did a review of internal controls. We met with the supervisory committee, and we also met with the board of directors, went over all the details, and I'm sure the full audit report will be available for anybody who would like to read it. So, Madam Chair, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much indeed. It's a very encouraging report that you have given the membership today, and we are extremely gratified that our credit union is doing so well as to get an unqualified opinion. We move now to what's termed new business in the agenda. And we have a special guest who will say a few words to us. Marinela Stempel, representing the Corporación Andina de Fomento, or the Banco de Desarrollo de América Latina. She's come all the way from Caracas, and she is representing the 260-odd new members of the credit union who come from the CAF. Marinela, thank you for coming.
I'm going to speak in Spanish, but I do want to thank you in English. I really am very happy to be here in representation of CAF. I thank Carlos for the opportunity to share this event with you. And I think it's the beginning of a very interesting and profitable relationship between CAF and the organization. Okay? We were working for over a year together in order to establish the adequate procedures and terms for the initiation of the opening of all the accounts. We worked and participated in the pilot plan, and I think one of the most important issues of the credit union is the people that work there. I think that the service quality, that is the aggregated value that you bring on board. We have worked for the opportunity not only to have accounts opened with the credit union, but also to have the participation of all the other companies that are working with the credit union. We began working with Clemens recently with our life insurance plan, and we are very satisfied with that also. CAF, the president of CAF always says that more or less what you have as a policy. We don't want to be rich working at CAF. We don't want to be rich also with the credit union, but we want to have an aggregated value. We want to have a company that works with us, or an organization that works with us and is involved in making and developing people and enriching their lives. So I think that's basically what I would like to say. Quiero darle las gracias a todas las personas que hicieron posible la apertura de las cuentas. Consideramos que el valor agregado que ofrece el Credit Union no solamente es la posibilidad de manejar las cuentas y la apertura de cuentas de sus familiares, sino el valor agregado que da la calidad del servicio que da el personal de la Credit Union. Una de las cosas que yo creo que es más importante es el poder brindar un valor agregado. Si uno hace lo mismo, pues no tiene sentido. Uno llama por teléfono, escribe un correo y siempre hay una persona detrás atendiendo, siempre hay alguien que quiere dar un paso más allá en servicio. Y eso yo creo que es una de las cosas que más valoramos. Estamos realmente muy entusiastas, muy satisfechos. Ha habido una apertura muy grande en cuanto a cómo incorporamos nuevos productos, cómo mejoramos la página online. Considero que la transparencia y la buena comunicación que ha existido entre Carlos, el equipo y nosotros es lo que ha hecho que realmente estemos cada vez más satisfechos. Tenemos un total de más de 300 cuentas ya migradas. Para el final del año ya deberíamos tener migrado por lo menos lo que es la sede de la CAF. Y posteriormente vamos a ir incorporando a los demás países. En la actualidad creo que Argentina es uno de los únicos países que tenemos incorporados, pero poco a poco vamos a ir haciendo las aperturas de las cuentas en los nuevos países. Entonces, bueno, de nuevo les agradezco muchísimo. No sé si quisieran preguntar algo, pero ¿está bien? Les agradezco muchísimo. Feliz día.
Marinella, thank you very much indeed. That was an extraordinary expression of the commitment of yourselves, CAF, to the credit union and what you have found here in terms of the responsiveness of the staff. It was very, very nice of you to say all that, and means a great deal to us. Thank you. Cynthia Miller, please. We have a report of the nominating committee, and we're now coming to the elections and the results of the elections.
Good afternoon. At this time, the nominating committee would like to thank the board for its continued support. The Associate Volunteer Program that we initiated a few years ago is really continuing to help us to build a pool of volunteers that will be prepared to undertake the board and credit committee functions if nominated and elected. So we are getting results because those that come in are kind of know the business when they are candidates. So we're pleased to inform that this year almost all nominees were selected from our pool of volunteers and have already served on a committee. So for this year, the committee began working on the 2014-15 election on October 1st of last year. And we followed the process that starts creating the calendar with all the different steps. The calendar is based on NCUA regulations. During the following months, in addition to our monthly meeting, the nominating committee members went around recruiting the prospective candidates that we were considered to nominate. And we provided all the documentations they needed to have to make a decision, and when needed, we assisted them in preparing the documentation. On Thursday, February 18th, the committee delivered to the board secretary the initial list of nominees for board and credit committee, and on March 28th, the final list. On April 21st, we started the electronic voting and ballot voting that were open, where the voting was open until May 16th. Several email notifications and reminders were sent, and so pretty much almost had the opportunity to vote electronically or by paper and be represented in the choices here. I'm going to call the candidates, and I would like them to stand up so you all get to see who are the candidates, not only in the picture. For the board, we have Ana Chisman, our chair. We have Maria Elena de la Flor, Andrew Vanjani, Sandra Guaqueta. And for the credit committee, we have Lydia Murray, Sergio Pino, and Marcelo Rigueto. Okay. The nominating committee would like to thank all the candidates for agreeing to run and participating. Another important function of the nominating committee is identifying the new talents and to serve as elected as volunteers on the 7 committees, as Anna mentioned. And I'm not going to list the different, because she already mentioned. Now, I would like to ask all the volunteers that served in this last period, 2013 and 14, and the new volunteers that are already ready to go into some of the committees to stand up. And I would like the membership to give them a round of applause for the service. And finally, I would like to remind all our members that our credit union counts on volunteers to make a difference and to continue the excellent service in addition to the staff. That is fantastic. So the nominating committee will be looking forward to hear from our members who would like to collaborate as an associate volunteers. So please contact or the members of the board or one of the members of the nominating committee, who at this time I would like to stand up so people see who you could contact directly. That's Millie is here, Fanny Morejon is here, Margaret, Carla. So, and we have to Zakaria El Gumri and Beverly. So we will be waiting to hear from you guys. And now the important thing that is coming, the results.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm sure many of you know how hard the nominating committee works all year and does not, in fact, just wait passively to hear from you. They actively go out and seek candidates and have been very successful in getting some wonderful candidates. So now is the moment. Oscar Harasic, the chairman of the supervisory committee, will reveal the results of the elections.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Half an hour ago, I received this envelope from the Credit Union Executive Society. They tabulated the results of the election, and with over a total of votes of 1,138, the 3 members for the board elected were Anna Chisman, Andrew Vanjani, and María Elena de la Flor. For the Credit Committee, the 2 selections were Sergio Pino and Lydia Murray. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Wonderful. Thank you, Oscar. Congratulations to everyone elected, and thank you to all of the candidates for standing, putting yourselves forward. Thank you very much indeed. Now's the moment when I think everybody's really been waiting for. Is the raffle. So, Carlos, I'm going to hand this over to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, this is not the most important part of the meeting, but it's the most fun. But before we get into the raffle and announcing the winners, I would like to thank our volunteers. From a management perspective, we have the best volunteers anybody would want to have. They work day in, day out. So they work day in, day out, meet on a monthly basis many times in different committees at the board. And as you saw some of the volunteers that stood up, at the end, when we count all the volunteers that help us throughout the year, I think we add up to 70. 70 volunteers make it possible, make the credit union possible, and support the membership, of course, support management and the staff, and make the credit union what it is. I would also like to thank our staff. We have great staff. They are very dedicated, knowledgeable, and obviously they do love serving the members. So, among the staff, I would like to thank today Patricia Mercado for making this meeting possible. And Jose Rabel, who went to very long extents to make sure that we have the live streaming possible today. And also, I would like to thank the Department of Conferences for their services, but especially for their support on making the live stream again possible, and specifically Ernesto Kosic, Fernando Solé, and Joel Mendoza. They were very instrumental. And last but not least, the membership, because the credit union cannot be without the members, you, every single one of you, being part of the credit union, believing in our philosophy, believing in what we do, and participating. Thank you. Thanks again. Now, we'd also like to acknowledge our interpreters for making it possible. This is great, as Anna Chisman mentioned, this is the first time we're doing the live stream in both languages, English and Spanish, so we can have a participation from all of our members and continue to tweet. We may still win a prize. We're going to announce the winners of the e-voting, and the list is coming.